Yeah, give me a second.
Welcome back to the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. So on Beat Break 87 FM in Atlanta, also on 101 The Vibe FM in Louisville, Kentucky, Thinking Out Loud Network, the Flow Network. Shout outs to Stephanie Starr and all the major platforms that we're on. Sean Garvey, DJ Rollem, Starr, Keels. Shout outs to the Positive Arts Movement for coming on the morning show earlier this morning. Shout outs to Bria and Nay and Reggie Love for showing us some love on the morning show. And also shout out to DJ Rollem for playing that 3-6 Mafia and that Bone Thugs and Harmony mix all together. You know, we were talking about the versus battle recently between Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3-6 Mafia, man. And it was crazy, man. Let me just say that for the most part, it was just super, super crazy. But hey, thank you for tuning in to the morning show. Follow us everywhere at Beat Break Radio, Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram at Beat Break Radio. We got a special guest on the morning show, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear them live and direct every Sunday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WAOK 1380 AM, News Talk 1380 WAOK. We have them on the morning show. Xavier Brandon and Austin McCall from Voices in the Street. Good morning, y'all. How y'all feeling?
What's good? What's good? Happy to be here.
Definitely.
Man, yeah, man. Thank you for coming. You know what? I'm not going to even lie, man. I was telling Xavier off the air that I really thought about rescheduling this interview to the next show. I woke up last night. I'm out there in the streets. I'm doing radio. I'm doing all this stuff, right? And I woke up last night with hiccups. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I haven't had hiccups in a long time. Like, I had hiccups when I was a kid, you know, and every now and then I have hiccups. We all do. But, man, like, this situation right here, it was like ongoing hiccups. It was like nonstop. And I was like, man, it must be something that I ate, you know, or I'm working too hard. Like, have you all had any hiccups recently?
Man, yeah. And I really don't know what's the remedy of getting rid of them. Like, they say hold your breath, get scared, drink some water. You know what I mean? I probably tried all of them and I still have them. I wish there was a one-shot solution to figuring out how to get rid of your hiccups because they are annoying. Hella annoying.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, it is annoying. You know, some people, they got a fascination for having hiccups. Like, I've heard some people say, I like getting hiccups.
That's weird.
Yeah, super weird. Super weird, man.
Goofy, so, but stop it with the goofiness. No goofiness. No goofiness.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Voices in the Street, News and Talk 1380 WLK, man. Congratulations on you all for landing that slot 4 to 7 p.m. every Sunday with Danye and Desi. I know Desi is on maternity leave right now. Also, congratulations to Desi. She's getting ready to bring a new arrival. Is a boy? Is a boy or a girl?
I think it is a boy. I believe it is a boy. Yeah. Austin, am I incorrect? I think it is a boy. I think it's a boy. I think they're preparing for a boy. So, you know, I hope there's no surprises, but I think they are preparing for a boy.
Nice.
So salute to them.
Yeah, salute. And shout out to Danye, who couldn't make it on the morning show this morning, but she holds everything down behind the board as producer and all things amazing, man. So shout out to Danye, yeah. I want to give, if you don't mind, Austin and Xavier, I want to give people the beginning of Voices in the Street, and then I'll let you all take over from there. I remember when the show first launched on WAOK, right? And it was Derek Bozeman, shout out to Derek Bozeman for Too Much Truth, right? Mm-hmm. Then it was CJ, where he goes by C to the J. Mm-hmm. And at that time it was CJ and this young dude named Jamin that were doing the show, right? Mm-hmm. And it transitioned from there to now you guys, all four of you all, holding it down Sundays from 4 to 7 p.m. What was that like when you all matched up with Desi, Danye, and Austin to you, Xavier. Like, what was that meeting like amongst the four of you all doing the show moving forward?
Do we have a meeting?
Yeah, it wasn't really like a meeting. It wasn't like a meeting, really. It was
I don't remember a meeting.
Yeah, I don't think we had a meeting. Austin, why don't you could tell them first how you got involved, and then I'll jump in and talk about where I came in the picture.
You're talking about voices, right?
Yeah.
So I got hired in like August. Joyce had heard what's Joyce, the program director?
Yeah.
The news director. Well, she goes by brand manager. She said she would
okay, so the brand manager
was a brand manager.
Yeah. So the brand manager, my mom goes to this church where she's friends with this lady. And I had just graduated college in May. Everybody from my area kind of knows me for being like creative and doing my thing in college and stuff like that. So she sent Joyce one of the episodes to my college radio show. And Joyce told her to tell me that they were hiring. So I went and applied. And when I was applying, I told Joyce that, first off, I never really thought that I would be on the radio because I don't listen to the radio. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told her. Like, I'm talking about like first meeting. I was like, I don't even listen to the radio. But I do, I'm good at talking. Like, that's my thing. Like, I'm a comedian. I'm good at that. And then she was like, I already know what you sound like. We have a show. Like, you're going to be producing. She hired me as a producer, but she was like, you got a show that you can do on Sundays for a younger crowd. And if you would like to, you could be a part of that. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. So, like, when she basically hired me and was like, yeah, I know you don't want to produce, but the only way for you to learn how to be on the radio is by producing, and I'll let you be on the radio as you learn. So that was basically it. I didn't know the show had previously been a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never met Derek Bozeman or none of them other niggas you just said. But I knew it was something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew it was a platform. I didn't know if it was cool or not, if they had views, what kind of show it was. All I knew was I'm pretty much good with anybody. Like, it really don't matter who I'm talking to. You know what I'm saying? As long as we get the chance to talk, we can find a way to make it entertaining. So that was how I got in it.
Right. Facts, man. And Xavier? Because I know you do Larry Tinsley. You do Larry Tinsley show on B103, sister station, the WLK on Sundays, man. So talk to us about your story.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be here without Danye Davis. Well, one, I wouldn't be here without the Lord. And then without the Lord, I wouldn't be here without Danye. So I always give her props and kudos because she was really the plug for me getting into radio and at V103. My wife and her are really good friends from church. And so she knew I wanted to be in radio. So when Larry had an opening, that's how I kind of like slid through the door. And so I had seen the show. I had seen like CJ post about the show, and he was looking for people to get on. I think it was before Jamin even got hired for it. But I didn't want to be too thirsty. Honestly, I wasn't trying to be too thirsty. So I said, you know what? I'm going to wait till they hit me up before I say anything. Well, there are a couple of days when they needed just a guest, for something. I had released a book. So Danye, being the big sister as she is, she was like, hey, X, you can come on, talk about the book. I'm like, cool.
Right.
I did that one time. Another time, I think they needed a guest host or something like that because somebody was out. So I came and did that. So then this third time, they was like, hey, we need somebody fill in, you know what I mean? It's going to be you. And then this new dude named Austin going to be with Desi, by this time, Desi had been a part of the show. And Dan, we just going to, you're going to be there. So I was like, all right, cool, bet, no problem. So I come through and we rock it,
Yeah.
And afterwards, I'm asking questions. I'm just a naturally inquisitive person. Like, I'm like, what's up with CJ? What's up with the show? Because I knew CJ had got a new job, so he was out. I ain't hear nothing about Jamin. You know what I mean? So I'm like, so they were like, we're rebranding. We want to bring some new stuff, and we think you might be good for this show. Like, You know, I know you want to be on radio. You're skilled. You know what you're doing. You know, talk it over with the wifey and see if you could get down. So I talked it over with her with a lot of deliberation. She allowed me to be on the show. And so yeah, we've been rocking ever since. So I think we started like in August. And so I definitely want to give props and kudos to CJ, which I've already told him. So this is nothing that I haven't said before. CJ and Jamin and Desi and Danielle for holding the show down and getting us to this point, because it started because of all the racial injustice that was going on in our country, and especially with Rashad Brooks being killed. You know, there was a lot of rioting, there was a lot of anger from our generation, and they wanted to be able to, no pun intended, give a voice to that on the show. And so that's what it created. That's how it was started, and it evolved into what we are right now, where we still have those elements when something comes up where we talk about it, but we also talk about things that millennials deal with, millennials want to talk about, you know. Right. So hip hop, of course, you know, Sean, you've been on the show, like hip hop and politics, you know, but culture things. And we just want to bring a little bit of life and flavor. Like, we don't want it to sound like an AM station. Like, when you listen to that, we want to be able for it to sound just like any podcast. Put us up against the Joe Budden podcast, $1 million worth of game. Put us up against the Breakfast Club. Put us against V103. Anybody who think they got what it takes, put us up against that, because we just believe in ourselves that much, and we hungry, you know. So
yeah, I love it, man. I love it. You know, it's so crazy that God, the Most High, the Creator, works in mysterious ways, right? In the radio business. And, you know, as I know, we talk a lot about this offline, about how, you know, people, they leave to go do bigger and better things. And it just leaves that opportunity for somebody else to come in and hold it down and then make something of it, because you all had some compelling episodes, content from Voices in the Street. And like you said, you know, I've been on the show a couple of times with you guys, and I just felt like it was only right to have you guys come on the morning show to talk to our listeners about Voices in the Street, man, which is a great segue. You know, I was like, there needs to be a show on WLK, right? There needs to be a show on WLK for the millennials, for young adults. Because I don't think, if my memory serves me correctly, I don't think there hasn't been a show like you all on WLK that really touches on social injustices and racism and implicit bias, and, you know, just including other things that pertaining to pop culture, right? Because we're talking to millennials, and it's just been so long awaited to have a show on WLK like that. Of course, we all know that WLK in the Atlanta area, in Atlanta, Georgia, its demographics are of older people, 45 and up. You know, I'm just throwing that number out there, throwing that target demographics out there, 45 and up. And you know, another thing too, to add on to what you and Austin just said, another thing too is that the older listeners, right, they tend to, of course, talk about things that's going on in society and the community and what have you. And a lot of times they talk about people. The youth, you know, and all kinds of people, right? And I'm like, you know, well, hey, in order to balance things out, let's get a show on WLK with a millennial younger voice. Because it's one thing, it's like one-sided, right? It's one thing to hear the older generation, older listeners speak their mind and put their perspectives out there about youth, about troubled youth and what millennials go through and whatnot. But then it's another for a show like Voices in the Street to come on and hear a millennial talk about all the different things that's going on in the community, in the society, from you all's perspective. So elaborate on that. You know what I mean? Like, talk to our listeners about the topics, the subject matter that you all talk about on Voices in the Street.
Austin, you want me to?
No, I'm doing a drug deal right now.
Oh. while Austin is
Hold on, bro.
copying his weed.
Wait.
Hey,
Let me throw a
tell these
disclaimer.
niggas on the
Let me throw
radio.
a disclaimer. We do not
I'm on the
advocate
radio right now.
drug
Swear
paraphernalia
to God.
on the radio.
While we're not advocating for you to do whatever you want to do with your drug use, Austin is partaking in his recreational use. So while he's
Oh,
doing
no. Austin
I will
only
explain.
partakes in recreational. And let me tell you something funny thing about drugs with the youth, man. Like the white people are always gonna do their white drugs. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna find new ways to kill themselves while trying to have fun. That shit gonna always happen. I will say, outside of the heroin, the liquid heroin, which is lean, that niggas for some reason just refuse to acknowledge as heroin.
Mhm.
Outside of that, niggas really just been smoking weed. Like I can, you know what I'm saying? Weed is now a worldwide thing. You know what I'm saying? They decriminalizing it every single place you can think of. But what I see youth doing more than anything, because when I was growing up, well, let me not lie. What's really going on is these niggas is pill heads. These niggas addicted to lean, Xans, and Percocets and weed. But that's shit. We can win if we could just wean you niggas off the heroin. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. But that's the type of stuff that we talk about. That's the type of stuff we know, for real. That's the type of stuff we talk about on the show. Like we think about
that's basically a show.
Yeah, that's basically the show. Weed and why it makes us better and why pills are bad for people.
Anything, bro. Anything.
Right. But no, so we talk about things that we deal with that could be considered taboo. If it's relevant in pop culture or in hip hop culture, in our culture, we're talking about it. If it's something that's going to spark some type of emotion and we care about it, we're going to talk about it. So Desi has a segment where she does Desi with the T, which pretty much are all the news updates on what's happening in the world. You know what I mean?
Very informative.
She also has something that she's passionate about, mental health and spirituality and stuff like that. So she has opportunities for that. Austin is a comedian, so he likes hip hop and stuff like that. So he has segments where he talks about what gets on his nerves. You know who we need to be looking at, who we need to be talking to, what's really.
Hey X.
Yo, what's up?
Hey X.
What?
Hey X.
Don't
you
start.
Want to tell Sean what I called you?
Don't start.
X. X. You want to tell?
Bro.
Hey, you want to tell him what I called you for earlier?
No, you tell him why you called me. Why you wasting my 10 minutes of my time with my wife?
Yo. X decided to be disrespectful to one of the biggest historical figures in Atlanta. I've been trying to educate him for the past month and a half as to how deep this shit go. Now, every single time I hear a mention of Young Thugger, you know what I'm saying, out the lips of one of these artists, I just bring it to X. So I'm listening to a podcast and Tank is explaining why male R&B is dying. I'm like, yo, okay. I mean, Tank is explaining why male R&B isn't dead because, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all pay attention to female R&B, but they've been smoking shit for like 9 years straight. Like most of the classic R&B projects are made by women right now, right? So Tank was saying the reason why it's like that is because R&B men aren't just going against other men that can sing. They're going against rappers. They're going against harmonization and shit like that. And Tank was talking about how he listens to Future and Young Thug to get different melodies to sing. And I was just like, yet another branch of the Thugger tree. Atlanta run everything.
Well, I mean, I never looked at it. I never looked at it like that. But you know, I come from the old school R&B, right? So, and then whenever I hear new stuff, when I hear new R&B, let me just say this: like, there's a few new R&B songsters that I can definitely listen to. But let me ask you all this. Let me ask you all this though. The new R&B songsters, you may care, you may not care, right? But I do care because I come from that culture.
I care. Let me hear.
Okay. Yeah. How many new R&B songsters that are out there right now can hit a high note?
5 or 6 of them.
6 of them can hit a high note.
I'm just going off the top of my head right now. Summer Walker, SZA, Ari Lennox, the 7 Streeter. Can I count 7 Streeter?
7 might be able to hit a note. Ella May can hit a note.
Is she mine?
Who?
I said, can I count her though? Like, is she our generation? 7 came out when I was in middle school, I think.
The 7 is our 7 is our generation. She's our age. She's around our age. She counts.
Okay, hold
7.
on, because this is my bag. You fucking me up right now. This is my bag.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you rock.
Aiko.
I'm gonna let you rock. Go ahead.
Yeah, Janae Aiko. She can sing her ass off. I don't know if we counting Adele, but I'm counting Adele. She don't talk about white people music. She only talk about the biggest hip hop albums every time she open her mouth. So I'm gonna take Adele. Hey, side note, Adele might have the second best voice of all time. I'm not like, she can't be Whitney. You're not Whitney, white British woman. But God damn, I mean, Jesus Christ, if Adele can't sing, I don't know who can sing, man. My homeboy was like, yo, because we was talking about music last year, and his girl was saying how Beyonce really, I don't know how to say this, but she was saying Beyonce really not it when it comes to singing. It's Adele. And I was like, what? I didn't know that's how y'all, is this a real thing? And apparently the consensus is Beyonce is not that great of a singer. I didn't know that amongst like.
But I think that depends on who you're talking. I think that depends on who you're talking to.
I do too.
Adele isn't an R&B singer. Adele is a pop singer.
What would you consider Adele? Like soul?
I would consider Adele pop, but I mean, I don't know if
she white. Is she pop? Because I don't know if she pop for real. Pop is like.
I don't know if she's considered. I don't know if we look up Adele on Apple Music, she's gonna be categorized as soul. You know what I'm saying?
It can't be pop music though, right? Because pop music is literally poppy music, like pop culture music, right?
No, it's popular music. It's popular.
Yeah, so like popular is a blend of R&B, hip hop. I mean, it's whatever popular, because like when Justin Timberlake came out with his solo album Justified, his music was being played on contemporary R&B radio stations, and he's considered pop.
When you look up Adele, that says pop 2021 pop, meaning she's popular.
So what do you consider JT?
JT, I would say, I think he might be ranked as pop, but I would say that JT is a R&B singer. You know what I'm saying? Because he makes
more as an R&B singer than Adele.
I think when you listen to the music and the way it's arranged, I think you could make that argument. But either way, I understand what your question is, Sean, that you're trying to get at. Like, are these people in comparison to a Whitney Houston or Gladys Knight or Shaka Khan or or Mary J. Blige or Mariah Carey? You know what I mean? I don't know if they're comparable, but what I will say is that they stand out because they can actually sing like and perform with or without the auto-tune. You know what I'm saying? Like Jennifer Hudson, right? Jennifer Hudson, old soul, flat-footed singer. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Just seen Dreamgirls for the first time over the weekend. No bullshit. Never seen Dreamgirls.
You just seen it?
Just seen it over the weekend, nigga. I was like, oh shit.
He's young. But yeah, so when you see somebody like Jennifer, you hear somebody like Jennifer, you know what I'm saying? Is there a woman out right now besides like one of the Braxtons who could probably hold her same type of bravado? I don't think so.
So what do we do? Like,
they're not going to overpower this.
No, it's not. All right, you want a real answer, Sean? I'm gonna give you the real answer to why it's just not going. This shit's over. That's not coming back. It's gonna be more. It's gonna turn into a one in a generation kind of thing. Like whenever it's a voice that powerful, because you don't have to have a voice that powerful no more. You just don't have to. Like the way shit's set up with technology and everything, you can make your voice sound crisper. You know what I'm saying? I can make those runs smoother, those breaks smoother, and it makes the artist lazy. You know what I'm saying? You can only do so much before you realize you working harder than everybody else to get the same result. You feel what I'm saying? So we getting classic projects from women like Sell Soul or the joint Summer Walker put out, or Control by SZA. Like all these joints is coming out. I can't tell you if if these women are the elite of the elite when it comes to singing. I just know they can put projects together well.
I'm
And
sorry.
they know how to have their music.
The only person who could probably hold a candle to any of those greats is Jasmine Sullivan. Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh yeah, I don't blame on Jasmine Sullivan. Yes,
Jasmine Sullivan can sing with her she can sing in her sleep and still with anybody. You know what I mean? Just straight
anybody.
Power
she's
range.
Like that.
You know what I mean? So I think is there, but as far as like males, yeah, you don't have those same type of males that are coming out, because you're right, they are competing with hip hop people.
Yeah, so his point was, even though now we have R&B artists that are popping, it's just not significant when you compare it to like how these women are getting off like as new R&B acts, man. Like, where's the male version of Summer Walker? Where's the male version of Harry Lennox? Where's the male version of SZA? Like, that shit's just not happening. And these new R&B niggas, like that I like personally, I like Brent Faiyaz. I like Giveon. Giveon's nice. You know what I'm saying? If I had to pick a nigga that was running man R&B, I would go Giveon or whatever. Yeah. Giveon, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he don't have out enough music. Party Next Door doesn't put out music.
Brent Faiyaz don't talk about
he doesn't. You're right. That's his problem.
And then, right. I mean, you got Bruno. Bruno gonna continue to do it.
I'm not counting Bruno. I'm not. See, this my thing with Bruno, bro. Bruno not no fucking R&B artist. Bruno is like a soul or a pop artist that get on stage and big up R&B because he know that's why he's popping. But he's not an R&B artist. He don't know. That's why he. If he was an R&B artist, he wouldn't always be looking to create the next sound. Like, you just gave us a 12 song album after a year hyping up a group with you and Anderson .Paak, and now y'all not doing a second album. Like, nigga, you don't care. You just doing shit. I get it. You just want to see what's gonna work.
Hey, man, I just leave that to y'all, man. That's why at times I go to the independent scene, because in the independent scene is some great, I mean, we're talking about singers. We're talking about never not say singers, but singers.
Right,
You got some singers in the independent underground scene that can go up against with the best of them. But, you know, it's a mainstream thing, so it's a mainstream thing, so it is what it is. Voices in the Street, Unfiltered, Xavier Brandon and Austin McCall, ladies and gentlemen. We're debating over R&B music. Now, let me just stop. But no, back to Voices in the Street, because one of the things that you all brought up on Voices in the Street is topics on social injustice and racism and so forth and so forth, man. 2021 has been, I feel like 2021 has been that year of so many trials and tribulations.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Trials and tribulations. Derek Chauvin, to the three guys that shot and killed Ahmaud Arbery, even Kyle Rittenhouse, Jussie Smollett, man. I mean, it's been crazy. Like, what trial stood out to you guys the most this year in 2021?
That is a question for X, because you know I don't give a fuck.
I'm definitely gonna say Ahmaud Arbery. That stood out, you know, just because I think that was like history making, you know, for three white men who killed a black man running in Brunswick, Georgia, to be able to get convicted of murder. I think that was major. I think also even the conviction of Derek Chauvin, you know what I mean? I think that was major. Kyle Rittenhouse stands out because it was that recent, and we actually did, you know, we had our first live broadcast while the verdict was being read.
Oh yeah.
And for him to be able to get off that, I think that was memorable, because we was like, yo, how can you just walk around with AKs and ARs and start killing people, and we got it, and you just walk. You know what I mean? I don't understand it. I think
Sean was our producer that day.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
What's that?
No,
I think Walter. Yeah. No, Sean, were you? Who knows? What somebody
Sean.
was.
It was Sean.
Oh yeah, Sean was. He played They Know. I remember.
Sean had to walk us through how to do this headphones and everything. And actually, you remember when we got the news of the case, like everybody was like, you know what I'm saying, feeling Conway, and I wasn't. I was like, bruh, this is how it go, bruh. Niggas act like they care and don't really care. Niggas don't be supporting, don't really be, you know what I'm saying? It's all just talk. And then when shit hit the fan, everybody's upset, everybody's distraught. Oh, they did it to us again, when in reality, Attorney Griggs told us right after the shit happened that it was less than 10 people outside the courthouse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not putting pressure on these people. So even when we, like, I know I just said, you know, I don't care, but not that I don't care about, like, the plight of black people and shit like that. I don't care about these showings of public justice because it's not actual justice. It's just public justice. It's just everybody can see it. So I don't get moved. That shit don't move me. It don't make me feel better. As soon as that shit happened, I said the other shit was gonna go through and those white people were gonna go to jail because there's no way they would do it back to back.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they're gonna give this white kid out because he's young enough to where they can do something with him, and they're gonna let those two old white dudes die in jail because they did something they weren't supposed to do. It's obvious to the world, and it's no way to actually spin it. So like whenever I see stories in the news about that are racially charged, I'm always thinking like, damn, of course. And then you see the coverage of it, and I'm like even now at my big age of 25, I'm gonna be 26 in a month. I'm still like not as trusting of black leaders because of that shit. Because I used to always wonder, like, God damn, how is Al Sharpton so rich? What does Al Sharpton do? What does Jesse Jackson do to get paid? And you know what I'm saying? My ignorant brain, like if you leave me to my own devices, I eventually get to the point of these niggas profit off of Black Death, basically. Like whenever something goes wrong, they can make a check. Like I don't know how to feel about that. Cause like at that point, I don't know if you really for this shit or you really just for you and this is a part of you. Like I don't understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm bad at seeing the lines of separation. So if I know that Al Sharpton gonna get paid 6 figures speaking engagements like for the next 3 months after he does a big case and stands on some court steps, even if it's a case he knows they probably can't win, I don't know how to, you know what I'm saying, move forward and treat that with respect. And that's just me personally.
How do you feel about that, Xavier? Because I've heard people say that too about our leaders and pillars in the community capitalizing off of Black pain or something that happens in the community. You know, a Black person gets shot, killed by the police officers, and here come the leaders and the media and things of that sort. Do you feel the same way as Austin, or do you feel opposite?
Man, X got a smarter answer than me.
I think that's an interesting question because I feel like I am a black leader. So, as a Black leader, I feel like there are some who are actually doing the work, like Tamika Mallory, and what's her whole organization? Marshawn and all the people, even Pastor Jamal Bryant, who goes out.
Marshawn, the rapper.
Yeah, the rapper.
Oh, that's dope.
My son, yeah. So there are people who are actually doing the trade of truth when there's disaster relief. You know what I mean? There are people who are out there who are actually doing the work, and we see it. And
it's not for publicity,
right? It's because like we need people who are activists who are out. Attorney Gerald Griggs, the whole NAACP, like, you know what I mean? There are people who are this is what they live for, this is what they do, you know. And then, of course, there are always going to be people who are capitalizing off of pain, regardless. Black pain, white pain, pain. You know what I mean?
How you feel about that, bro?
I feel like it's messed up, but I don't know if I can say particularly Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson are those who are
that's not fair to me.
Perpetuators of this. You know what I'm saying? Because they have been around for so long, and whenever there has been something, they have stood on our side. You get what I'm saying? Whether you agree with their policy or what they do, whatever, is another thing. But they have always been there. And so I know.
Wasn't Jesse Jackson with MLK?
What's the difference between us being media people, you know what I'm saying, capitalizing off of a story and sharing that story with the nation? You know what I'm saying? What's the difference between what they doing and what we doing?
I can tell you.
Go ahead. What's
we
the
don't
difference?
directly profit off of we don't directly profit off of sharing that information. We sharing that information to get through a show, maybe to inform listeners of what's going on. It's literally our job because like whether anybody knows it or not, once you air radio, you basically are giving the news. It's news time. These niggas ain't giving the news. They are going for situations. They going because okay, we can win this, and then this is my name, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. It's not fair for me to single out Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton.
But that's your perception, Austin, that you think that whenever there's a story or a big highlight, that they just automatically hopping on a plane to just show up to try to get news coverage.
That's true too.
That's because
I'm sure people ask for them to come.
That's because you're skeptical of, and maybe you're jaded based on whatever experiences you had, right? But one could say the same thing about what we do. Yeah. We're getting paid to sit there and share about Black pain, Black hurt, Black, you know what I mean?
Break that down for me. Break that down for me, because I feel like we're the news.
I mean,
let me
go ahead.
Let me say this. Let me jump in real quick. And both of you all make good points, right? I feel as though in media, because we all in media, right? I feel like everybody profits off of stories like these. Let me tell you why. Well, let me say this. I can respect a Reverend Al Sharpton and a Reverend Jesse Jackson over a Sean Hannity. Or over a person who is an anchor or a journalist over at Fox News or CNN. And here's why I say that. Because those people, those anchors, and there's no disrespect to those anchors and those journalists over at those platforms, but they're not out there in the trenches. They're not out there in the trenches at all. You know, even Bill O'Reilly, before he stepped down, he was so used to reporting Black pain. He was capitalizing off of that stuff too. He was reporting all the time about the Gina 6.
Oh, white guy?
The old Caucasian, the old Caucasian guy. But they were never in the trenches. You know what I'm saying?
I thought he used to be talking about like Republican shit.
Yeah, but they were they were still covering racial stuff that was happening in the hood or in the communities. They were still covering that. They were making it seem they were making it seem as if the problems in society was because of Black people.
Yeah. I think it's two sides of the same
racism,
coin.
And then they would cover their ass.
I think that's
go ahead, Xavier.
I just think they're two sides of the same coin. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that we as leaders and we as people with the mic, you know what I mean, have a responsibility to make sure that we're doing our people justice, right? So, I mean, I'm a minister, right? So if somebody calls me and they need me to bury somebody, or they need me to speak on behalf of this organization or whatever like that, like I have to filter through my mind. Am I doing this for a check, or am I doing this for the good of the people? The same filtering that I have to do when I decide I'm going to share this story versus this story. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we all have to do. In the same way, it's like, do I give this panhandler this $5, or do I give him this $20? You know what I'm saying? Like that same type of mentality, we have to sit there and, you know, filter through our brains and through our souls and through our spirit and make a decision. Now, I know even like Sean King, right? People can say what they want about Sean King, but Sean King fights for our people as a Black man. You know what I'm saying? As a Black man, he fights for our people. He informs our people about the racial things. He has death threats. He got people coming for his family. Like, you don't just do that because you're trying to clout chase. You know what I'm saying? And Reverend Jesse
Jackson,
of that shit be iffy though. Jesse Jackson was there with King. You know what I'm saying? When King died. You know what I'm saying? Al Sharpton been it. And so when you have a history of being
Al Sharpton got shot.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm saying is, I think time will tell all. You know what I'm saying? Time will tell whether or not we are authentic and genuine, or we BSing. You know what I mean? And I think I give
That's
them.
the word right there, X.
Huh?
That's the word, X. That's the word right there. Genuine.
I give them
disingenuine and genuine.
Right. I will give them the respect enough to say that their body of work over a period of time, you know what I mean, has proven to me that I think that they're with us for us. You know what I mean? And if they happen to get a check because of it, then so what? You know what I mean? That's the way, that's their a workman is worth his wages, as scripture would say. You know what I mean?
I'm
But
all for it. You know what's crazy? I'm for that, X. I just would like it to be like when, all right, so take it like this. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're on YouTube and somebody's bigging up a product and it's not like you know or not if it's an ad or not. I don't like that. Tell me if it's an ad or not. Tell me what you're doing is beneficial to you, and don't frame it as if you here to save the world when you know what I'm saying. Because like you just said, they been in the field. Like Al Sharpton, when he was big, Al Sharpton would fight for you even if he didn't know if you was 100% right. I looked into that story in New York where that girl had told that lie and he was defending her, and they tried to clown his image because he just went to bat for this young black girl that claimed she was raped. You know what I'm saying? I see stuff like that, and I can take that and be like, okay, in 1991, you were this person. This person that you portraying right now that you're telling everybody about, you were that person. I can't, me now looking at you in your 70s and stuff, I don't know if you genuinely feel like that. You know what I'm saying? You could really just not like black people as a whole, not as a whole, but like the youth of the black people, you could just not really feel them anyway. So all the stuff you saying could just be what you know. It's not fair. I don't feel like it's fair to me to think like that. And this is why this not no factual shit I'm saying. This is just my opinion. I always just feel like I just want people to be genuine, and it's so hard to tell. Like once you like, I can't. Nigga, I wish you was there when they told me that the pastor get paid from the collections or whatever. I was like, what, nigga? Wait. I thought this was going to like somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And like you don't understand. And in reality, the church got to be open, right?
Right.
And the church is living off the land. Like that's not. See, to me, that's less invasive than Al Sharpton getting $100,000 to go defend someone. You know what I'm saying? Publicly. So like it's real hard. It's real hard with the blurred lines. But I feel like we need now with the Sean King thing. Sean King is iffy to the youth. I ain't gonna lie. People clown him. People clown Sean King because he be doing shit like it be like I done seen him lie before like multiple times and get caught like on Twitter. And it's like odd lies. So it's like okay. And then it's crazy you bring up him because over the summer, me and my friends was like, you know what I'm saying? Because all the way up until this summer, we was all for Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? My dog Paul is like a contrarian. So like one day we talking, and we was talking about Black Lives Matter, and that nigga asked me the coldest question ever. He was like, "Hey nigga, you be seeing how they be putting these posters up with niggas' faces and the dead people and shit like that?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I heard parents not getting none of the money, like they're not giving the families their bread." And he was like, "Yeah, fuck all that. Where's the money going that people donate?" And I just sat there. And then he was like, "Nigga, I swear to God, go to their page, read through their page. You're not gonna see where the money goes. It doesn't tell you where the money that's being donated is going." Went to the page and looked, and I was like, "It doesn't tell you where the money's going." And then the lady that's in charge of shit buys a house. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like all this shit, like it's like niggas be playing directly in your face, and it's like you can't even trust niggas to be who they say they are. Like you making money off Trayvon Martin face, nigga.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem with us as a culture. But I would also, and this is where I get into my spiritual bag, is that I think you got to trust your spirit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like your spirit will know whether or not something is a good cause or for a good place or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got to trust yourself. Like, yes, we're all humans. We're all flawed. We're all imperfect. So yes, we're going to make some mistakes, but every mistake that we make can't just nullify some of the good that we do. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So Sean King is caught lying. That still don't mean that he ain't still fighting for our people.
You're right.
Dr. King cheated on Coretta. That still don't mean he ain't got the Civil Rights Act pushed. You know what I'm saying? So I think,
they should have fucking told us he did that. I'm tired of being played with.
I mean, they should have.
They told us in the movie. They told us in the movie.
Right. Thelma showed us.
School, nigga. Tell me about Malcolm X, nigga. Tell me what Malcolm X was doing before he was Malcolm X.
But Austin, first of all, the people who write the curriculum are the Sisters of the Confederacy. They not going to sit there and tell you about your history and stuff like that.
It's bullshit. And then you get older, and then you got to deal with niggas that distrust the government and shit like that because they do stupid shit like this. And then they be like, "Oh, why niggas don't want to get vaccinated?" And it's because you niggas lie about everything. So niggas is so fucking stupid. And they go, "Man, you don't want me to get me started, dog."
Man, Austin, I love your energy, man.
I hate that shit. On my life, I hate that shit with a passion because it's a big ass circle of stupid shit. It's literally a big ass stupid fucking circle that starts with the people you have to trust lying to you and ends with the people that should be listening not being able to trust the fucking truth because you lie so much. The shit drive me crazy, and niggas be, and when you try to explain to niggas, hey bro, you really just don't want to do this shit because of this. And like, you know what I'm saying? It may be other reasons, but deep down it's this distrust of the government that's just instilled in you because you've been around old people and shit. Like you around your grandpa and shit. He telling you about some shit he half know about. Nigga ain't never read a book in his life. He just kind of was there and is half telling you what the fuck happened. And you telling your kids this stupid shit. Like I done seen it, bro. I've seen stupid and how it's transferred.
That's why it's our responsibility again. When you know better, you do better. You know what I'm saying?
I can't save them all.
You can't, but you can try. You can try. You
I told you about that time right when COVID happened, X, where I was at the wing spot and this lady with like 6 fucking children. They kids, but they children, X. They like not even out of elementary school. I hate this fucking lady, man. I don't hate this lady. I'm sorry, listeners. That shit just drove me. So I'm at the wing spot. This lady walk in, you know what I'm saying? On her ghetto queen shit, she walk in. She got like 6 little kids with her. Look behind the counter. I'm in there DoorDash. She look behind the counter. It's a bunch of Mexicans in the back cooking in the wing spot, right? This like a month after COVID really ramped up and niggas ain't really moving around. She look in the back and see the Mexicans, turns to the kids and is like, oh, they got that Corona in here. We can't eat in here. And leaves. And nobody heard it but me. So as soon as she leave, I'm like, yo, why didn't nobody else react to that? Because I'm like, what? Like I said, what? Loud as fuck. Because I was like, don't nobody hear that shit? And she walked out with all 6 of the kids. And I sat there, I got my food, went and got in the car, called my brother. I was like, nigga, I just seen how people become stupid. It's just because older people are stupid. And if you're around somebody stupid and you're not smart enough to figure out that they stupid, you're gonna take what they saying as gospel. So dumbass big lady telling these 6 kids that these Mexicans working in the kitchen somehow created COVID, you know what I'm saying? Because Asian people created COVID to kill us all. And she tells this little nigga that, and then he go to school with that shit to tell other kids who don't know shit. It's like a circle of stupid shit.
Of course.
And who's to say that lady didn't do that because she was misinformed about something? And like who am I to tell somebody that lived through how the country handled AIDS and shit to trust the country? You know what I'm saying? Where they didn't want to tell y'all niggas that AIDS existed until Superman turned out to be gay. You know what I'm saying? They weren't gonna tell y'all shit about AIDS.
Man, damn. Voices in the street.
This is what it's like. This is what it's like.
Hey, I know y'all fellas gotta go real soon. Man, I love Austin's energy, man. Austin for mayor of Atlanta. We'll get into the Atlanta politics later, but I know y'all gotta go in a few minutes, man. I really wanted to talk really quick about, because we're doing kind of somewhat the best 2021. We're coming up on the end of the year. Because I'm looking at your background right now, Xavier. You got like some classic vinyl in the background, you know, into the 36 Chambers, to the Dr. Dre album, The Chronic, and all. What would you all say were your best and worst albums of 2021? I have a feeling that you all have maybe like 2 worst albums of 2021.
Damn, I don't never think about worst album, but let me think. Eggs, let's do best first.
Yeah. Off rep, I'm gonna go with the Off Season by J. Cole.
Yep.
As best. I'm literally scrolling through my library to see what I recently played and what I be listening to.
The J. Cole album is solid.
Yeah,
it's definitely solid.
Solid. Also King's Disease 2 by Nas. Definitely one. Worst might be Expensive Pain by Meek Mill. I was highly disappointed in that album. Highly disappointed.
That's the album with the album cover with the naked women in the cars and all that caused a lot of controversy. Yeah.
The album just wasn't hit, like it didn't hit for me, and I'm a Meek fan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that might be the worst. I don't know if there's another one that worse than that to me. that I listened to this year, but
I
go ahead, Austin.
No, my fault. Go ahead. I didn't know you was still going.
I was gonna say, well, to me, I think I'm with you on the King Disease Part 2 from Nas. I think to me, another great album that dropped this year, and I don't really listen to him as much in the past, is that Tyler the Creator album.
I didn't listen to it, but apparently it was doing good numbers. It was getting nominated and stuff like that. Maybe I need to listen to Tyler. I don't know. I
ain't gonna cap. You sleep if you ain't heard that. Hey, so was that your introduction to NBA YoungBoy, Sean?
I don't know. I didn't think about that because I don't really listen to NBA.
What's your name, girlfriend? What's your name? What's your name, girlfriend? What's your name? That joint with him and NBA YoungBoy is like that's how you know who Tyler the Creator really is. The fact that this dark rapper from Yonkers can go get this young fucking killer from New Orleans or Louisiana, wherever the fuck he from, and they make something beautiful to the point where YoungBoy is up for his first fucking Grammy because he did a Tyler song. Like Tyler is exactly who he said he was, nigga. I remember being in 9th grade when Tyler first had really came out, and niggas not really wanting to fuck with that Odd Future, Wolf Grain, Kill 'Em All shit, because that shit was weird. But like even back then, I used to see his interviews and shit. That nigga would be like, nigga, I'ma do amazing shit. I'ma do $1 million videos and win Grammys and shit. And that's why he eating fake cockroaches. Like that Tyler is that nigga, X. You gotta tap in with
eating fake cockroaches. Okay.
Yeah, he was eating fake fucking cockroaches in his music videos and telling people he was gonna win Grammys. It was like, no, nigga, no, you're not. Nobody's gonna give this a Grammy. And now he's, you know what I'm saying? That means he always knew how talented he was. But as far as so I'm gonna go with my best albums of the year. So this is easy for me. Thug with Punk, it was my favorite album of the year. A lot of different, it was very, very versatile. Probably his most versatile project to date outside. You know what? This is probably his second most versatile project. He has a complete R&B album called Beautiful Thugger Girls. But my second album of the year, which I wasn't expecting, was Donda. Donda was the most sonically pleasing thing I heard all year. You know what I'm saying? It was different with the no cursing, but like the way the instrumentation and shit on those songs, some of the verses on them songs, some of the melodies on them songs, it's some unbelievable genius shit. Like this was Ye year. Like this is the year he probably gonna win. He probably gonna win all of the Grammys. He's gonna probably win his first couple of Grammys. Like this is the one for him. Like the song he has with Roddy Ricch, all the way to the song he has with Andre 3000. The instrumentation on some of them songs, matter of fact, shout out to Joe Budden's podcast again. I was listening to him review Rick Ross's album, and that nigga was taking points away from Ross because he was like, I can't listen to this the same after I heard Donda. Like, I can't listen to these drums. Like, listen to this drum. Like, he breaking down the drums in the song because of how Kanye shit was. And I'm just like, I already really like this album, but he's right. Like, this Rick Ross album, and that might be my worst album of the year, the Ross album.
Okay.
I got to think about my other one because I like Expensive Pain more than other people. I like that song with Uzi on there. I like the song with Thug on there. I like the title track, Expensive Pain. I got to think a little bit more, but
like
as far as my favorite,
I think for me, I felt like for you to be best album, I need to be able to listen to you from front to back without having to skip. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I couldn't.
Oh, that's hard to do.
I feel like I had this. It wasn't like as in sync. Like some of them songs on Donda, I could have got rid of. And if you would have got rid of the ones that were more slower and just kept me with the bangers, you know what I mean? Then I think I would have been fine with it.
So what would you rate Donda? What did you rate Donda then?
I'm on.
Well, we're done. We're almost done. Xavier's kid just walked in. The question was asked, what would you rate Donda? To me, if you're asking Sean Garvey and not Xavier Brandon, I would rate Donda a 2. I would rate it a 2.
What the fuck?
I think
because there was only 2 songs I like off that album.
Again, I feel like I
hold on,
can't.
hold on. What,
Okay.
nigga? 2 songs?
I rated it 2. Sorry.
What the fuck?
Sorry.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Wait.
First of all,
Did you
the
hear?
album, Austin is going down the floor. Listen, the album is called Donda, after his mother. So even leading up to that, I thought the album was going to be kind of somewhat like the old Kanye with the new Kanye, more meaningful, more, spiritual and et cetera, et cetera.
You didn't
But when I listened to the whole album, man, I was like, nah. It's only 2 songs I like though.
We gotta circle back. We gotta circle back because I want to know those 2 songs. X, what did you rank Donda, and what was you about to say? I'm sorry.
On a scale of what?
1 to 10.
It's like a 6 to me, and that's why.
Okay.
It's like a 6.
I'm not gonna put it 6, X.
This again, man. You can't. I rank you based on your other bodies of work. Okay. For you to be this great, right, in the game, you should be giving me college dropout, late registration.
That's not fair.
Goddamn graduation level bar. No, listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. You should be giving me those level bars.
You're not a rapper.
I agree with you. Instrumentation, out of this world. You know what I'm saying?
That's his shit.
Production, A1, right? But the song quality, bro, the song qualities were not that great to me. For me, and I know I don't want to compare the Certified Lover Boy to him, but like Drake gave me from track 1, Champagne Poetry.
That was mid.
Stop it.
The album as a whole is mid. It got like 3 songs on there.
Okay, so they're both to me, they're both mid-level albums. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is all I'm saying is I can ride more. I can ride in my car more to CLB than I can to Donda. I'm more than likely gonna go.
And this coming from a gospel music listener. Like that says something because you'll sit and listen to gospel rap and gospel music in the car.
Exactly, I will. And I'll listen to Donda. But Ye isn't bringing me. I expect a lot from Ye. Okay. I've been riding with Ye since College Dropout. Okay. Me
too.
So for me, when you make a song called Jesus Walks, and you say, I ain't here to argue about his facial features, here to convert atheists into believers. I'm trying to say the way school need teachers, the way Catholic needed Jesus, that's the way I need.
Consequence probably wrote that shit, man.
And I don't care who wrote it. My point is, I can't even name a bar or a few bars off of Donda that gives me an inch of me having to remember. You know what I mean? Like, oh shoot. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that 100%.
And that's how we know albums are. That's how we know albums are. We shouldn't be saying about Donda like the Hove and the Baby and the Roddy joints are the hottest. Not because of Ye though, because of Hove.
All right, that's true. That's true too.
Roddy. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So when I look at if I'm gonna compare that to like King's Disease 2, if I'm gonna compare that to King's Disease 2. Shoot, Nas
had just put out a bad album though.
Huh?
Nas just put out a bad album like 2 albums ago or the album before this one.
Right, sure.
He just did an album with Ye that doesn't even get played.
Right, exactly. That's my point though, right? With the Nasir album was trash. However, he got with Hit Boy and made 2 incredible albums. 2.
And his head wasn't in it for that shit. You're right.
Either way, all I'm saying
is that his shit is production.
Whatever excuse we want to make for Ye, whatever. All I'm saying is Nas has been out since 93 and he's still putting up #1 albums. Still putting up #1 albums that have a longer shelf life, a longer replay value than I think Donda does. Now, I'm not saying that
Can
Ye doesn't deserve awards and he don't deserve, but you're not about to sit there and
He
tell
gonna win
me,
Grammys off this album.
right? But he better not win rap album of the year because he ain't got a
He
better
probably is,
rap
though.
album. He ain't got a better rap album.
But I wouldn't be surprised
If you wanna
though
go
if he
with
wins
who-
rap album of the year. Like
If you
Post
wanna
Malone
go about who
won
should win
rap
the best
album of the
rap
year.
album of the year, if you want to go about who should win rap album of the year, then it's J. Cole. But he's not gonna win it. If he does, it's well deserved. But he's probably not gonna win it.
But that's my point.
And
That's my point, though. That's my point.
Kanye
Like,
album is that I look at Kanye as a complete artist, you know what I'm saying? As you do, you know what I'm saying? But you appreciate his bars and shit. Once I found out in like 09 or 08 that he wasn't the one writing the bars, I was like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna pay more. You still are a master producer. And you know what I'm saying? Like the point you just brought about the people rapping on his songs and shit. Kanye don't make beats for other niggas really no more. Except for that Nas shit and that Lupe shit, which were both in. So he kept all the good shit for himself, obviously. And these
Which
niggas
is
are getting a
good.
chance to rap on Ye beats, and they getting on there and they losing their fucking minds. So
Right,
like when I look at the fact that they getting on there losing their minds, I also give him partial credit for that. I give him partial credit for how he rolled the album out. I give him partial credit for how the fact that he has the same song twice with two different versions on the first album. You know what I'm saying? All that shit was innovative and creative, and the music was hard.
That's
Like,
great,
I can't speak for why you don't.
That's great.
I can't speak for why you don't personally want to hear that shit all the time.
I'm not taking that anyway from. All I'm saying though is that the music should speak for itself. The music alone,
and the music, I think music does speak for itself. That's why I'm talking about instrumentation and shit like that, because the music does speak for itself. Now, if you want to go into who my artist was of this motherfucker, like who was the nigga in rap that dropped the best complete project, I'ma be a homer and say Thug. I'ma say Thug had a better album than Drake and Kanye. And I'ma stand on that. Like if you want to go bars and music and all that shit, then he had it. He had like 4 different genres and they was all good on his album. They was not good, but great. That song I showed you with the 2 white boys and Gunna, that shit is gonna be, that's a festival song. So like when I see artists being innovative and shit through the years, Kanye himself said he needed to do something, because when you see all these different acts coming out,
right?
Some people more backpack than him, some people more bars than him, some people better with the clothes than him, some better people with the video, some people better with the production. He had to find a way to be Ye again, to be the one that was innovative that people got to catch up to. And he did it with the rollout and with the stadium shows. That nigga was making millions of dollars to sit on a bed.
Today, though. They not bumping Donda today.
People are bumping Donda, bro. People listening to Donda.
Okay.
I see it every day.
Okay. Cool.
Listen. Look, the bottom line is this: there are people like Austin that said that Thug's album, best album of the year, or best artist of the year, or what have you. I would say an artist this year whose album has been overlooked is Common, A Beautiful Revolution Part 2, and I'm a big Common fan. It's not his. It's not
ain't
a
nobody
classic
listening
album.
to Common. That's why nobody listening.
I still listen to Common.
Oh, something we did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I'm sorry. And because I'm so hip hop, I forgot about this. But Her's album needs to be up there in goddamn best albums of the year.
Her is a genius.
That Her
but
album,
she didn't
that
sell.
Her album is something different. Front to back.
Them sales, man. Front
to back, bro.
Yeah.
Is a complete body of greatness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would say even over Still Over It to me. You know what I'm saying? But I know people like
you
the
mean
drama.
like what song? Are you talking about song for song?
Song for song. But I feel like Still Over It.
She got her.
Still Over It just has a cult following in the drama of Summer in London that kind of propels the
Some are a bigger artists than her right now without the label.
Black people just like the drama. You know what I mean? It's the same reason why, even though, and I'm not knocking Confession, because Confession is different.
That's classic. Yeah, classic.
It's a classic by work. But we cannot act as though the him and Chili situation didn't make us want to listen to it a little bit more.
It definitely did for me.
See, I ain't understand all that shit.
Exactly.
I ain't understand all that shit. What that shit was like? No, I said what that shit was like. I heard about that shit way afterwards.
So it was kind of it was summer in London just back in the day, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? It was summer in London back in the day, except you know, Usher apparently was cheating on Chili, or the thought was that he cheated on Chili. You know what I'm saying? And Chili was not trying to get Usher, wasn't trying to get Usher back. So Confessions dropped, and every song we think is him talking to Chili, when in actuality, other people are writing songs and they ain't got nothing to do with Chili. But we don't know.
Wasn't it Jermaine Dupri talking to Janet Jackson?
No, the album was about Jermaine Dupri in real life. It was about Jermaine Dupri, but Usher just
shout out to
JD.
Fact. So yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, I think when you listen to the music and the quality and stuff like that, Her's album, I think personally, is better than Still Over It, although Still Over It has the accolades because of who Summer Walker is in the drama.
Can I say something about Summer Walker? Because I've listened to Summer Walker's songs in the past, of course, and I did listen to Still Over It. Mm-hmm. Is that album, so like I said this to a friend of mine. So, you know, I'm going through some mental health issues, right? And listening to that song puts me back into depression mode.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
That's good that she connected with you.
But it's not meant to be a good thing though, Austin, because I'm like, you know,
you're trying to get out of
listening to a Summer Walker.
Yeah.
If I'm listening to a Summer Walker, I listen to Involve. I want it to be like put me in a happy place. They still tell you
when I say it's a good thing, all I mean is, when I say good place, all I mean is like, it's like, all right, once you get out of a certain place mentally, you know what I'm saying? I always think, or me personally, I can look back on shit and I usually laugh about it, or I get something out of it. Like, I'm never just like, this is me personally, so I don't know, I can't speak for you, but like, I don't get drugged back. I just think like, damn, okay, you too, huh? Like, not just me. Like, I feel like good music does that. Like, it gives you like a feeling like, damn, it's not just me. I'm not alone. This is some shit that you went through, and you got all this money and opportunity, and you still feel just like me, who working every day and going through shit every day. And that just means it don't even matter if I get this bread or not. Like, I'm gonna feel like this, so I gotta fix this. Or I already fixed it, and thank God I fixed it. And now I get to just sit and listen to this song and just feel connected to Summer Walker, even though we're not the same person, not from the same place, don't know the same people, but we feel the same.
I think that you have to be in a certain place to appreciate her music. Just like this same argument is like when Chance the Rapper dropped The Big Day album, and people was like, yo, it was trash and whatever like that. I actually like the album. Why? Because I'm married. Two, I'm in love. I'm in love. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't married and you ain't in love, you don't appreciate that album. You know what I'm saying? If you're
that nigga cancel yourself.
The same way, like remember when Mary J. Blige went through like I'm in pain, Mary? So when she dropped My Life, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you were going through a bad breakup, you know what I'm saying? You felt that. You felt what she was talking about, you know, in My Life, or Reminisce, or God dang, I Just Want to Be Happy. You know, how can I love somebody else when I can't love myself enough to know when it's time to let go? Like, you felt that because you sitting there looking at your relationship like, God dang, Mary, you speaking the exact same thing to me. You know, I think Summer the same way. It's like, you know what I mean?
That's what I was saying.
These other people that you dealing with, you know what I mean, ain't me, but they think they me. They think they gonna get your heart and your love, but they don't know that you ain't shit in the first place. And two, they mad that you with me, you know what I mean? And they ain't never gonna be me because I'm different, you know what I mean? And so her emotion and how she was feeling in that is definitely conveyed in it, but it's not something that's gonna take you out of your sad, depressive state, because even the musicality of it is low. Like the drums and the sound are lower register. You know what I'm saying?
Her voice is the star of the song every time.
Right. I think X for a Reason is the only up-tempo song, and maybe one more off the whole joint. So everything else.
Everybody hated X for a reason.
Yeah. You said what?
Wait.
I said everybody hated X for a reason.
Oh, I like X for a reason. But again,
No, I'm talking about girls like on Twitter and shit was like,
oh,
I don't like before the album came out and it was just a single. People started to doubt how good the album would be because they didn't like the song. That's the song with JT, right?
right, yeah.
Yeah, they was like, oh, I don't even know if this is gonna be this.
And I think again it's because of what you're looking for. You know what I mean? If you want to look for the drama and the hurt and the pain and the I'm single and blah blah blah, that you're gonna get that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is why I said the difference between her has a range. There's a range of emotions. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, oh, I'm just sad and depressed. It's we up, or oh, I want to be with you, and oh, you know, I should have broke up with you earlier, or oh, like I'm in my bag. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a wide range. Plus her being able to play all her instruments and stuff like that, and her writing. You know, so
yes,
yeah. I think it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah.
All right, bro. So, X, don't get mad at me. I'm just talking hip hop here, bro.
Okay, it's okay.
All right. Let me when you guys are giving an artist credit, you know what I'm saying, like as a full artist, do you consider the amount of people they've brought with them as far as artists and producers? Like when you talk about what they've contributed to hip hop as a whole? There's no reason to laugh. I'm just asking the question, Max.
I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do.
X, just answer the question that was. I'm sorry to raise my voice. Just answer the question that was asked. Do you consider these things?
Repeat that question one more time for our listeners.
When you're talking about an artist, right, and what an artist has contributed to hip hop, do you take into consideration the artists that they have broken and brought into rap, and the producers they've broken and brought into rap? And when I say that, I mean like producers that they helped make famous, like producers they worked with early on. That was their first big person to work with. You blew them up. You're the person doing the drops, like the drop form and shit. Like when you're on other songs, that's your voice. You know what I'm saying? Do you give them that credit?
You mean you talking about as far as artists or just us individually?
I'm talking about artists. Like, do you give the artist that credit? Like when you talk about them as an artist as a whole, like when you talk about Jay-Z, do you give him credit for Kanye in that conversation?
To some degree, I mean, I would. To some degree, I would. Yeah.
Or like when you talk about Nori, do you give him credit for the Neptunes and Pharrell?
I think I don't. Here's the thing. I don't. I look at the person individual. Like, what did you do? Not, I mean, and when I mean, what did you do? When I think of a whole, I say
he snapped on them Kanye beats.
Huh?
I said, well, what he did was snap on the beats that Kanye gave him and made Kanye famous.
But he snapped on beats way before Ye came over there.
But when he snapped on them Ye beats, it made Ye famous.
Agreed.
It don't matter who he was with before that.
Agreed.
Yeah, the analogy you use about Nori, not so much compared to a Jay-Z, because the Neptunes, they were already hitting it before Nori. Like when the Neptunes came, when Neptunes and Nori worked together, that I felt like the Neptunes put Nori on more of a higher level than before. Because there was a song that Nori put out in 97.
You feel like they elevated Nori?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there was a song that Nori put out in 97, 98 that was not a Neptunes beat. It was not produced by the Neptunes. And it was like, okay. Another one-hit wonder.
How do you feel about Nori, X?
I like Nori, but what I get what Sean trying to say, like, you know, Banned from TV is Nori's song. But most people won't think about Nori when they hear Banned from TV. They think about
Hey Sean, where are you from?
From the A-Town.
Okay, so Nori's music was already reaching to Atlanta in 97 though. So he was like, he might not have been a major artist, but he was a big artist or big enough.
But the Neptunes, you know what I mean? The Neptunes sound way past just Nori. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like nothing. It wasn't like nothing was the joint that just put the Neptunes on the map. Like, you know what I'm saying? You also got to think.
That's what I thought. So okay.
Wait a Minute was out. You know what I'm saying? You got what's that joint? Give It to Me was out. Like there was a whole bunch of bangers that the Neptune, the clips, there was a whole bunch of stuff that just made the Neptune and Pharrell, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta also think Pharrell made Rump Shaker. You know what I'm saying? Like Pharrell was on game with Teddy Riley.
What year was Rump Shaker?
Huh?
What year was Rump Shaker? Like
90s.
God damn, Pharrell.
Early 90s.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So
Pharrell, you that guy. If you ever hear that, you that guy.
So like I wouldn't say, I'm not sitting there saying like, I'm not taking away that fact that he brought, Ye into the game to take away from Hov. You know what I'm saying? But when I think about Hov being the GOAT, I think about Hov bodying everybody and anybody. I'm not, let alone his business endeavors and goddamn.
I'm talking about I'm basically asking you, do you give Jay-Z credit for his ear?
Sure, but that's not but yes, I do, but that's not why he is the GOAT. He ain't the GOAT.
It's a part of it to me, though.
It can be.
It feel like a part of it to me.
It's like, okay, same thing like Gucci. We can make that same argument for Gucci. Like, somebody.
No, Gucci a bad example because Gucci's not a legend lyrically. If you want a great example, it'll be Nas. The reason why in an argument to me, when you making that argument for Nas a whole, my reason that go over the top is Nas biggest artist is Dave East since '93. Baby, you've been a boss. You've been a boss 15 years. So I can't you know what I'm saying? It's niggas that's been rapping for 6-7 years that done broke more artists than Nas and helped pull more niggas up than Nas. So when we talking about, you know what I'm saying? Nas is the God MC, nigga. Even my little ass know that shit. But when Nas loses the argument is like, hey nigga, what do you do for these niggas though? What have you done for these niggas? Other than you just be Nas. Like you did one Firm album, nigga, and then told them niggas to fuck off. They wanted to do another one. You know what I'm saying? And I asked y'all this question because, like you was just about to say about Gucci, I give niggas when I'm judging you like as an artist, your ear plays a part in that for me because your ear lends itself to your artistry, and your ear being amazing only proves that you can ascend past whatever genre of music you're probably in. If you can bring in producers and rappers that become major producers and rappers on their own without you, because you saw something in them. I give you that credit because at that point you're an A&R. You're the street A&R, but you're an A&R. And I like Gucci is the greatest A&R in the South to me of all time. He got that shit over anybody, any record label exec, anybody, bro. Gucci got that shit. But right after Gucci, it's Young Thug. It's Thug. And I'm sitting here listening to us have this conversation about Summer Walker. And all I'm thinking of is the first time I heard London on the Track. I was in like 9th grade or 8th grade, and he was a rapper. And he was making the beats and rapping for this group that was in the city. They went to like a school in, I think I went to MLK or some shit. And then he stopped rapping with them niggas and just started making beats. Then all of a sudden, he doing Thug songs. And this is a whole bunch of, we got London on the Track. That's Rich Kids. That's Schoolboy, a song that Thug was on. And like that became his thing. I remember Metro Boomin going from like being nobody to all of a sudden doing Thug mixtapes and becoming like this huge producer. Like it happened out of nowhere. And I'm just thinking like, damn, bro, like these niggas really just poor niggas. Like these is niggas that was all in high school around the same time I was in high school. I went to fucking high school with Gunna. Gunna couldn't even rap for real. And Thug pulled him in and gave him a style and gave him the swag, you know what I'm saying? And now Gunna's one of the biggest artists in the world. We got Lil Baby running Atlanta right now. Thug paying this nigga to go to the studio and rap. He didn't even want to rap. Nigga gave him $2,000 every time he would go to a session just to get him out of the streets. Like, it's like, damn, like, I got to give you A&R credit once we start getting into situations like that. Like 808 Mafia producing Thug joints and then going on to create classic albums with artists. Like, it's like, damn, bro, like, where do because I give Rick Ross credit for all the producers he brought to me. Not producers, but like Justice League. I didn't know who Justice League really, really was until I really got into Rick Ross. And really understood like how his beats sounded, why his music sounded so much different. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get into Kanye until I found out that he was making these whole joints. Like when I found out that I remember when I was a kid, I thought Just Blaze was the greatest producer in the world. And then I found out he only did half the blueprint. Who did the other half? Oh, Kanye? Okay. like shit like that lends itself. Like Gucci pulling all these niggas up is fucked up as because what I'm saying doesn't mean you a great record exec. Because Gucci's an awful record exec. He go to jail all the time. He didn't really help his artists break. A lot of his artists didn't make money. OJ the Juice Man had a bad deal with Walker's mom, Deb Anthony. Gucci had a fucked up deal. Walker left. You know what I'm saying? All the artists he keeps signing either keep dying or going to jail now. It's literally like every artist he signed go to prison or die. It's super weird right now. But you know what I'm saying? So it might be cold for Gucci right now as far as being an A&R and picking what's next. But Thug definitely has picked up the mantle. And like, basically, like, if you really want to call it what it is, every new Atlanta artist in some way is connected to Thug. The biggest producers, the biggest artists. 21 of them kind of got their own thing. They kind of really got that shit out the mud. I don't really remember nobody putting him on. I think he got famous for saying Free Guwap. That was like his first big song in like 2014, 2013. But like right now in Atlanta, all of these young niggas are some way in some aspect connected to Thug. And by that, you are somehow connected to QC. You somehow connected to Coach K, and you somehow connected to Gucci because of that arrangement with Thug. And I'm just sitting here listening. We talking about London on the Track might be the best producer in R&B right now, like today. He's not like a super crazy talent. You know what I'm saying? But like, who else would you want to produce your shit right now? London's the guy. Like, he gave Summer a classic. And then he fucked around and did half of her new album where she dissing him the whole time. And it's still good music. So he's that guy right now. And I'm sitting here listening to y'all talk about his impact and shit. And all I can think about is him in this song that I heard in 9th grade rapping in front of a computer with 4 other niggas that I'm sure probably hate that nigga because they ain't standing next to him.
But
and that shit crazy to me. Cause like,
you know what? I'm not gonna talk about hip hop no more. I'm not gonna do no more hip hop commentary, no rap. Because listen, I'm a hip hop connoisseur myself. Mm-hmm. But man, I have never, ever in the history of me doing this, man, have had a hip hop rap connoisseur like Austin McCall on the radio show. Ever. This is history to me.
Nah, because it's not that I'm a connoisseur because X is a connoisseur. I'm just a nigga that know about the niggas he like. Like X know about a whole bunch of shit. I know about a little shit and just happen to know a lot about it. Like I can tell you a lot about what's going on in Atlanta, but I can't necessarily tell you a quick 16 from AZ. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that shit. It just ain't never gonna happen. All I know is like who touches who pushes who. That's what I care about. And I care about what kind of music you can make as an artist, how versatile you are as an artist, and can you actually rap? Because like I can deal with you having bad verses if I know you can rap for real. If I done heard you rip some shit a bunch of times, I done seen you switch your flow a bunch of times and say fire shit. So I can hear Thug on that Way Too Sexy song and just not like the song and not listen to it and not even think about it. But like X will hear that shit and just be like, this fucking Thug. Like, he's a thug, way too sexy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that go right over my head. I go right to the album and listen to Contagious and listen to the like, it's just so much shit. And like, that's why he's my favorite artist. Like, I know X hate when I get in my Thug bag.
And that I do, but that's where I appreciate him because he's talented, he's gifted, and he knows like his stuff. The part where we differ is that, see, he'll listen to like a verse or something like that and be like, oh, he may have just had a bad verse and that's it. I'll listen to it and be like, yo, he's trash. Like, don't ever play him.
I think it's the New York in you.
It might be like, don't play him.
I think it's some New York shit, bro. You're not for the games.
Until you give me a bar, until you give me a few bars that I feel like are like admirable for my listening. I don't want to hear nothing.
Hit the books, nigga. Hit the books, nigga. Get back in there. You're not done, nigga.
Go rewrite it.
Oh man, Voices in the Street, ladies and gentlemen. Austin McCall, Xavier Brandon. Mm-hmm. It's going down, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, really quick, before we let y'all go, let the people know where they can follow you at on all social media.
It's on you, X.
Well, you can follow us, Voices in the Streets Unfiltered, on social media at VIS Unfiltered Radio ATL. That's VIS Unfiltered Radio ATL. You can follow me at I am Xavier Brandon, IAMXAVIERBRANDON, on all social media except for Twitter, because Twitter won't let me change my name. So you can, on Twitter, you can hit me up at Professor X, PROFEZZORX, and you can go to Xavier.
You gotta change it on the computer, bro.
It won't let me. I tried, bro. It's too long. I don't know. It's trash.
You know, a lot of people not even messing with Twitter these days. You know, IG.
Yeah. But yeah, go there and go to XavierBrandon.com if you want to book me, if you want to cop a book, if you want to listen to some mixes, some music, some
I gotta buy your book, bro. I didn't know you had a book until like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You was so modest, nigga. You know what I would do if I had a book, nigga? It'd be like on my book bag, like on the outside.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? I let just like I said with the music, I let the music and the art speak for itself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I feel like I had
my nigga's super Christian and not pushy. It's the craziest shit I've ever experienced. Nigga ain't talking about God the whole night, but he will school you niggas right now. I dare you, nigga. Verse for a verse.
Verse for a verse. You're dumb. Go ahead,
Austin, where can people follow you at, man?
Follow me on Instagram, LIK So Stupid. LIK So Stupid. That's Leak So Stupid, by the way. Mama named me Malik. I'm a king. My name on Twitter is at Austin McCall with an _. My Instagram, you can see my comedy, my stand-up comedy. I got skits. I write scripts. I act. I need to be a model. I'm trying to add to it. I produced the Rashad Richie Morning Show, and I am 1/4 of Voices in the Streets, coming to a street near you. Hide your bitches. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not bitches. Shout out to all women.
Now, when you say you wanna do modeling, you gotta, because in the day and age we're in right now, like, you want to be a magazine model, IG model? What kind of model you trying to be, Austin?
Them IG models are making way more money than the real models. They can act pretentious all they fucking want to. These niggas is paying these girls thousands upon thousands of dollars to come do disgusting things. You know, I found out how much an OnlyFans girl can make going to Dubai to do like butt stuff, like with poop and shit. They be making like $100K and shit. It's like, damn, bro, ain't being a hoe easier? Like sometimes, like, you know what I'm saying? When you see that girl that's working like hard as shit, you just like, damn, you know, you don't even got to do all this. You don't have to do half of this shit, and you can make 6 figures. You in school and shit, working hard like an idiot like me. Because I'm telling you right now, if I could go somewhere and fuck somebody for 6 figures, I'm doing it. Like, y'all niggas can act like these girls as bad as whatever, nigga. I'm not shitting on them, dog. 6 figures for like half an hour worth of shit, and you get to go to a country you'll never see a day in your life. Now, the hard part is getting back, obviously, because y'all don't have no rights over there. That's fucked up. But, you know what I'm saying? I think the 6 figures will cover that shit, probably. Probably not. It probably is
everything has its pros and cons, man, you know, but I'm just the type of person. I'm just the type of person that would rather just go up the stairs and not the elevator. You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
I'm gonna let you marinate on that. I'm gonna let you marinate.
He'd rather grind for his millions than sit there and take an easy route. That's what it means.
Oh, I mean, you don't have a vagina. That's why. You don't understand. You don't understand. It's too. You understand how easy it is. Like, you just gotta pretend.
Hey man, that's another topic. That's another topic. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of glad I don't have a vagina right now, but that's a different topic.
Your podcast is definitely fun, bro. I definitely enjoy. I don't think, like, before we go, like, do y'all prefer podding or being on the radio more? Because I prefer the podding because I get to, you know what I'm saying, just talk without having to think about my words and shit. Like, because I feel like I'm being myself more than I get to do on air. But that's just because, like, our conversations are so short on air. Like, it's like 7 minutes a pop. We don't even really get to get into shit. And then we got callers, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, our callers are older, so they may be calling because we mentioned something not even something we were fully talking about. Like you might mention Lil Nas X while talking about pop artists of the year, and all of a sudden somebody call and tell you how Lil Nas X is trying to steal the children's innocence of America or some shit like that. Like it's up and down, but like when you got a great co-host, it just makes it fun, but not necessarily less challenging, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I love both. You know, we don't really get to, when it comes to podcasting with what we do, we don't really get to interact with our listeners as much as we would love to. We know that our listeners are there. We know that our listeners are listening. That's a great thing. But I think, you know, it's both. You know, I love radio. Been doing it for a long time, talking to listeners, and you know, you're right. It's quick in radio. Terrestrial radio is quick. It's more structured and what have you. Hey, X, last remarks in regards to that. In regards to what Austin said.
Yeah, definitely. I think that we're afforded the opportunity to live our dreams. You know what I'm saying? I remember listening growing up on the radio to Funk Master Flex and Angie Martinez,
Miss Jones,
and the Starr and Buck Wild. You know what I mean? And
shouts to Starr.
Yeah,
I don't know about
Nolan and Larry.
Is it really shouts to Starr though?
Yeah, no, Starr was a wild boy. Okay.
Yeah, that nigga crazy.
Nolan and Larry and the Breakfast Brothers and even Tigger. You know what I mean? I remember growing up listening and watching.
Shout out to Tigger.
You know what I mean, watching these people on TV and just being and listening and be like, I might be able to do that one day. You know what I mean? I actually wanted to own a radio station. I still do. And
you still can.
And I still can. You're right. And I never really thought this would be a thing. You know what I'm saying? And so when I quit my job and I took a leap of faith and I was like, God, what you want me to do? You know what I mean? And
really,
I took a shot, and again, I hit up Danielle, and she told me to apply to LK, and nothing panned out. And then I sat there, waited a few months, and she called me when I was going to see Captain Marvel and was like, yo, Larry got a spot open. And then a year or two later, she's like, yo, we need somebody on LK, you know? And now I'm 1/4 of a show where I get to be able to be myself. I get to talk. And I always used to say, yo, I would love just to get paid to talk. And guess what I'm doing? I'm getting paid to talk. You know what I'm saying? So I think
dumbass teachers.
God works in mysterious ways, definitely. And yes, sometimes we may have to cut the conversation short, and yes, sometimes we may even have to talk about stuff we don't really care about. But in those other times, when you can have fun, you can laugh, you can joke, you can get into your bag, you can talk about something serious, and you can show the world who you are as a human being and what you care about. And maybe, just maybe, something you say is able to impact the life of somebody. You know, like even the interviews that we do when we're inviting our friends or people in the community to come and give, you know, using our platform to elevate them. We had a couple people who we invited, and they've told me like they've gotten business off of just people who've listened to the show. Like that's something that is like, man,
a word.
Like that's not something I was expecting, but that's a benefit, you know, to be able to say like, man, I gave you an alley-oop just because I believe in you, you know what I mean? And here you are getting more like that's what we're doing this for. We're doing it to impact the lives and change culture, you know, just like it changed us. And so I appreciate you, Sean. I'm grateful for this show. I want everybody download the apps, stream, share, put it on. Man, this morning show is phenomenal. It's incredible. It's going to change lives. It's changing your life. You already listened to it. So definitely stay tapped in because this is phenomenal and it needs to be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Voices in the Street, 4 to 7 p.m. Sundays on News and Talk 1380 WLK and on the Odyssey app. It's on the Odyssey app. Just search for News and Talk 1380 WLK, man. And that's with Desi and Danielle. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say much success to you all. I know you all got some more big things coming up in the near future, man. And I know Voices in the Street is going to still take over the world. It's going to take over 2022. So let's get it.
Let's get it. Dope. Appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Hey, we got more coming up right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Y'all keep it locked.